Make America's
The federal
deficits great again.
The federal
deficit in May.
The federal deficit.
All right, enough of that.
I can do that all day too.
Federal deficit. The federal.
Ah, shut up. Okay.
The federal.
Yeah.
The federal.
So
It never stops being funny.
2.5 years into his term, President Trump has little to show for breaking with erstwhile Republican Party orthodoxy on trade and budget policy.
Oh, they banned that a long time ago.
Indeed, far from delivering on his promise to cut America's trade deficit, Trump has presided over a ballooning deficit that's on pace to become 25% higher than when he took office.
Jesus.
This is happening at a time when the budget deficit is widening and the country's public debt is well on its way to exceeding 90% of GDP.
Didn't Trump say? Let's go look up what Trump said about the deficit, dude. What was Trump going to reduce the deficit? Isn't that what he claimed?
He's going to slash it. Slash it.
Deficit gone.
Deficit. Schmeficit.
There's no deficit anymore.
Deficit. Schmeficit. Beleficit.
We're going to take back all that wealth from China.
Sadly, the Trump administration seems unfazed by the country's deteriorating long-run financial position.
Why would they be fazed by it? The previous administration wasn't fazed by it. Neither was the previous administration before that. That's par for the course now. Everybody's just cashing checks on your grandchildren's fucking dime now.
It shows no indication of correcting policy course to put the economy on a sounder, long-run economic footing. This makes it all too likely the country's incipient twin deficit problem will only worsen in the remaining 18 months of Trump's first term.
So this is what Trump said.
Will further mortgage the country's economic future and diminish the U.S. dollar's attractiveness as an international reserve currency.
But this is what Trump said about the deficit. So this is he's going to
Candidate
Trump eliminate the federal debt in 8 years. We've got to get rid of the $19 trillion in debt. Well, I would say over a period of 8 years, and I'll tell you why. It doesn't say that, but that's his promise. So he said he was going to get rid of $19 trillion over 8 years, and he's actually increased it by, what you say, 25%.
Well, he's on track to increase by 25%.
So
before his term is up.
eliminate versus 25% increase. So looks like Trump done lied again.
You know,
Who would have thunk it?
sometimes things got to get a little worse before they can get better, Scotty. It's all part of Trump's
that's why those tax cuts.
fucking master plan, dude.
We're gonna have tax cuts that are gonna cut revenue.
Because when the
We're gonna spend more money though.
when the economy booms out of its fucking,
the economy's gonna boom so high that it's gonna make
Dude.
up for the lost revenue and then some.
Dude, that economy is such a fucking house of cards that's just waiting for somebody to walk by and blow a fart, dude.
I know, dude. It's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna crash like a fucking Boeing 737, dude, with that fucking faulty wiring in it.
I'm just waiting.
That wasn't a problem. This whole fucking world is burning, dude. Like, I hate people that say that shit is okay now.
Always look on the bright
It's better than it ever
side of
has
life.
been. If that's true, then this world has been a flaming piece of shit since its inception, and it should never have happened. Fuck you, man. Planes falling out of the sky, nobody cares. We're literally spending money that our grandchildren's grandchildren are going to have to come up with. Like, what the fuck? Nobody's doing anything. President after president just stacks on more debt.
Yeah.
Adds another deck of cards to the wobbling economy, and brags about it. What the fuck, man?
Paul, I take exception to what you said. They are doing something. They're making it worse. They're making it worse. See, like that's the fucking thing, dude. Like, I wish I could agree with you, but I actually don't, because I think it's not like they're just neutral. Like, okay, things suck, but we're just kind of. It's like, no, Donald Trump is making shit worse. Clearly, he's making the deficit worse. It's undeniable.
You guys a bunch of damn liberal cooks don't see the master plan.
Keck.
Keck is for cucks. Two defining pillars of the Trump administration's macroeconomic policy have flown in the face of pre-Trump era Republican Party orthodoxy. This is kind of bullshit, though, because Republicans have been doing this kind of shit since Bush, at least.
Yeah, the wink, wink. We're going to cut the deficit. Wink, wink.
The first involved, Clinton kind of did. Clinton was the last guy
There
that
was a
actually really
surplus.
did anything. He was the last guy that actually cut the deficit.
Well, Bush
actually brought us
inherited
into
a surplus, remember?
Right, and he turned it into a fucking massive deficit, and it's grown every president since him. It's just like we've given up on, even the slightest semblance of not being massively in the red.
Overspending.
The second involved in the introduction in 2017, a time of relative economic strength, of a massive unfunded tax cut centered on a large reduction in the corporate tax rate. This budget, I can't believe. Can you guys believe it that when you tax less, there's less revenue?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Isn't that the weirdest thing? Because you would really think.
You'd think
Yeah.
all of that wealth that you're giving back to the rich people would trickle down.
Yeah, and
You know what I mean? To the savings would trickle down to the lower classes, but it just seems to coagulate up there at the fucking top.
And it's so weird how government revenue even goes down. Like you lower taxes and you don't get as much revenue to pay for your programs and shit. I love the new Republican philosophy of let's spend a shit ton of money and take in none. That just seems really fucking sustainable.
Where the
to me.
fuck are my trickles?
I love how these fucking.
Where are my trickles?
I love how these retards who believe in this sort of fucking economy will tell you with a straight face, "You just don't understand economics."
You don't have a macroeconomic mindset, which is indicative of somebody who never went to school. Fuck you, you idiot! It doesn't take a fucking 8-year degree to know that constantly cutting taxes on the rich isn't going to fix this economy.
The crazy thing is, how many times have we tried it and it hasn't worked? Even if the theory was sound, it obviously doesn't
Not
work in
only
fucking
has it
practice.
not worked, it's done the opposite. The ocean of debt has just gotten deeper. As these people hoard this fucking financial security more and more tightly.
Well, they want that to be the narrative, because then when you talk about social programs, we're broke. This country,
broke.
This country is so broke. We have fucking trillions in debt. We're running deficits. We just can't afford that. We can afford corporate welfare. We can afford to fucking have basically the most expensive drug prices in the world. We can afford to have the most expensive healthcare costs, and we can afford all of that. That's fine, because as long as the private taxpayer and the citizens have to fucking bear the burden, that's fine. But corporations, no. They don't bear shit. And we're always too fucking broke unless it's more planes and more tanks and more jets and more shit we don't fucking need. It's like the redneck mentality. Look at all the toys we got, but we don't have any of this other shit we actually fucking need. It's a ripoff. It's a fucking giveaway to corporations. Who wants this contract? Oh, it's you.
Why don't you shut your damn liberal mouth?
Look at fucking Boeing.
All
they had
liberals
planes
are
in the
terrorists,
fucking
as far as I'm
sky.
concerned.
They had planes in the fucking sky with your relatives and people on it, and they crashed and killed those people. And guess what they're getting? Billions of more dollars. They don't give a fuck about the American public. They don't give a fuck about anyone.
Why would they?
They have no incentive
Communism.
to. They have no fucking incentive to, and
You're
it's
a
a fucking
fucking-
disgrace.
You're a commie and you hate America.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Hey, did you enjoy that fucking clip, you piece of shit? Well, guess what? We got a Patreon.
It's true.
YouTube doesn't pay us. In fact, we've been flagged as a hate speech channel. Do you feel like you just saw hate speech? Well, YouTube thinks you did.
I sure don't.
Yeah, I don't either. We might be hateful bastards, but I don't think we're hateful in that way.
And we don't speak.
And guess
hate.
what? We want your money.
We kind of need it.
We do. That's
kinda
a
need
better
your money.
word is need. Seriously, we try to do the most we can for our patrons. You can just ask anyone who's a patron. We have 4,500 or so of them, and they're in our comments all the time. You can just ask them outright, is it worth it? And they'll tell you it is. Links down below. Do it.